Now, this is a class that inshallah will take place in the summer, June 28th to 30th. The summer we know is very packed. This was the only free weekend. Please make sure everyone comes out. I wish I could say more about it, but I really don't know too much. So inshallah I'm going to introduce Saad Tasleem, who's here with us. Takbir! Allah! He came straight from the airport here.
بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله
This for me
وبركاته.
is actually a very amazing moment in my life because, as you all know, I was an AlMaghrib student myself back in the day. So to now, almost 10 years later, as we know, it is the 10-year anniversary. To be standing in front of you and talking to you is actually, it's an emotional moment for myself as well. That's why I've never felt this way speaking in front of an AlMaghrib class before. I've taught the Fiqh of Chillin almost a dozen times now. But still, I have a very, very interesting feeling going on right now. But anyway, alhamdulillah, it's a very positive thing. I'm very, very happy to be here. And I'm sorry, I came actually straight from the airport because I want to make sure that I catch you guys and get a chance to talk to you before you guys leave. So to tell you a little bit about this class, let me just first tell you about how this class actually came about. After I graduated from the University of Medina, I got hired by AlMaghrib, as a lot of you know. And there was a discussion taking place between me, Sheikh Yasser Qadi, Sheikh Waleed, Sheikh Muhammad Sharif, and others. And we were trying to decide what I should teach for AlMaghrib. And some ideas were going back and forth, and some things were brought. I'm not going to mention exactly which classes, but some ideas were brought. And one of the things I told them, I said, listen, I'm not going to teach a class that I'm not passionate about. And that's been like my manhaj, that's been my way of giving da'wah. Every time I've given a talk or anything, if I don't feel passionate about a subject, I don't speak about it. Because I don't feel like I will give it 100%. So when it came to AlMaghrib, I said to them, I said, listen, unless I feel passionate about this subject, I'm not going to teach it. Even though it may be like a class that may do really well, may sell a lot, etc., etc. But if I don't feel good about it, then I'm not going to teach it because I don't think I'll be able to give it 100%. I'd rather a different instructor take it. So that being said, when the Fiqh of Chillin, actually it wasn't called the Fiqh of Chillin back then. When the idea for this came up, I got very, very excited. So as soon as the topic was brought up, I got very, very excited. And then they're like, do you have any ideas about what you're going to teach and what you're going to, how are you going to prepare this class? And one of the things I told them, I said, you know what, I've actually been preparing this class since the first day I started practicing Islam. And the reason is because this class is really about finding a balance in our lives. And if it was up to me, actually, I would actually call this class the fiqh of life. Because really, this class is about our lives, how to find a balance in our lives. And one of the questions that I receive a lot, and one of the issues that I've seen a lot, especially the younger generation, but even, I guess, this may exist in the older generation as well, but they may not express themselves, or they may not actually talk about this. And that is the fact that a lot of people live a very guilty life, like a guilty Islam. So they always feel like, they're just not quite good enough, right? They're just not quite good enough of a Muslim, and they don't know where that line is. So they're like, am I going too far? Am I not going too far? I had a moment of weakness, and I went to the movie theater. Is that going too far? Am I a bad Muslim now? And there are people always questioning their Islam. They're like, they always feel like they're a bad Muslim. And I was like, you know what? This situation needs to be addressed, and this point needs to be addressed. And we need to talk about these issues because the reality is that all of us, because we live in America, we live in the West, we come across issues on a daily basis. And on a daily basis, almost our Islam is challenged. And we're having to make that decision whether, okay, is this good for my deen or not? Should I do this or not? So we're always struggling with that issue of balancing between our deen and our dunya. And that is why the first thing I talk about in this class is the issue of wasatiyya. And that is the balance or the middle path. And how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, one of the key characteristics of our ummah is that we are balanced. So how do we bring that balance into our lives? And that is that is the theme of this whole course. And then we get into obviously other things. We talk about pop culture. There's a huge section on pop culture where we talk about consumerism, talk about music, movies, the entertainment industry, the movie industry, how it all ties in and how is it relevant to us. And then there's other sections, which all, I guarantee you, they're all actually very, very relevant. There's my favorite section in the class is actually the section on social media. Because this is, I think, one of the things going on with social media, like back in the day, like not too long ago, there used to be like this general consensus amongst like the religious crowd. Where they're like, you should stay off of Facebook and stay off of Twitter, it's just better for your email and stuff like that. And I think the conversation needs to go beyond that now. The reality is that most everyone is on Facebook, most everyone is on Twitter. People are online doing something. So that being said, we need to set guidelines for ourselves, and we need to know what to watch out for, and have the proper perspective regarding social media. So since we are involved in social media, that we feel comfortable about what we're doing online, and we can protect ourselves. And that's how we approach all the chapters. There's a chapter on laughing, joking, and pranks. There's a chapter on sports and physical fitness. I guarantee you, it's lots of fun. At the same time, one of the things that I've heard in every single location that I've taught this class is people were like, we were not expecting the amount of spirituality that was in this class. And that is actually how I was taught fiqh in my classes in Medina, and even somebody who I consider one of my teachers, Sheikh Muhammad Mukhtar Shafiqi, if you've heard of him. He's in Medina, and even the way he teaches fiqh is that he's very, very spiritual. So I try to bring that into every single section of this class, and you will see that at the end of the day, it will end up being actually more of a spirituality and an adab class, and it's not so much of like a traditional fiqh class. A couple of the misconceptions people have about this class, some people think that I'm going to walk into class and the whole class is going to be about me just going down a list of issues and saying, this is haram, this is haram, this is haram, okay, this may be halal, but this is haram, this is haram, this is haram. That's not what this class is about. This class is not about like getting a ruling on every single issue. Like I said, this class is about finding a balance. Secondly, other misconception is people are like, well, I already know how to chill. Right? Like, how are you going to teach me how to chill? And once again, I'm not teaching you how to chill. I'm just giving you guidelines, and I'm helping you find that balance in your life. And you'll see that, inshallah ta'ala, after the weekend is over, you'll have a much better picture of like how you should be leading your life, how to balance between your dunya and your akhirah, entertainment issues with your deen, etc., etc. So I'm very, very excited. I'm very, very happy to teach this in my home Qabeelat, alhamdulillah. And I know it's been a while, and a lot of people are asking me, like, when is it coming? When is it coming? I was like, I don't make that decision, right, Chef? We don't make these decisions. They just tell us where to go, and we go. That's how it works. But alhamdulillah, I'm really excited. I'm really, really happy that it's coming here. And like I said, I've actually taught this class almost a dozen times now. But I'm very, very excited. And I think out of all the locations so far, this is the one that I'm most excited about because this is my hometown or home area, inshallah. So looking forward to having you all with the night out.
Actually, he wasn't telling the truth completely. He did have a choice in this. He basically told us when we were like, we want to be the first Qabeelat ever to have this class. But then he's like, no, I want this place to be like my grand finale. I want this place to be one of the last places I teach this class. So once it's well developed, DC gets it good. So we're looking forward to having Sheikh Saad. He wasn't lying, I was just joking. We're looking forward to having him. If you go on the AlMaghrib website right now, you can register immediately. It's a single weekend class. Inshallah, so it's basically $85 if anybody needs scholarships. Inshallah, we do offer scholarships. We're very, very excited about this class. We think that inshallah this class will be completely packed. Our last class was oversold. We had no seats left. And subhanAllah, we had almost 70 people on the waiting list. So we're trying to get a really big room this time with a very large capacity. And we're expecting inshallah around 400, 500 people to come. So please make sure to let everyone know, and please make sure to register early.